Alright. Welcome back to Nick Lenz Comic Corner, Classics and Non-Classics. This is episode number 3347, Doubleshot number 3241. I got two trades from Skybound, believe it or not. First up we have is G.I. Joe, Real American Hero by Larry Hama, Volume 3, which contains issues 311 and 315. Now, prior to reading this trade, I had not read these issues yet because a lot of different companies, not Marvel, DC, I am like almost a year behind, and reading these trades allows me to catch up with some of these series. I kind of wish basically some of the ones I would catch up with, but this contains issues 311 and 315 of G.I. Joe American Hero. Written by Larry Hama. Excuse me, we have two different artists in here where almost all the issues, 311 for 315, one issue is all working by Chris Mooneyham. 314 is done by Andrew Kotke. What happens is as well, basically we have a major conflict in a lot of places. Springfield. Yes, Springfield. It's basically a big war over Springfield. The Dreadnought's basically there. Zartan's taking the Baroness. To get patched up here. And of course, basically, it's all out warfare. Oh yeah, and it turns out this Zartan is actually Cobra Commander. Yeah, apparently, because he controls basically Springfield, they have the thing prepared. And of course, you have Serpentor Khan, which, yeah, and of course, basically, they have full-scale war. Cobra Commander does his own thing. Then we have basically where Destro goes to the field, fires the Joes. We have sort of a conflict between him and Serpentor and Destro. They have their fight, which is interesting. And then basically, well, Serpentor is killed. Yep, they kill Serpentor. I think that's like the second time he's killed. Yep. So the community center is, well, it looked like a hospital, looked like attacked by Cobra, and then they're protected by the Joes. They protect it, no problem. And of course, Destro asks where his girlfriend is. Zartan has her on the way down here. Just come out of the OR. Seriously stabilized. In the ICU. Ego need dominating the hospital ASAP. And she can really Destro. Large Destro. Yeah, and then we have the community center where it looks like they're being attacked by more stuff of Cobra. And then we have where Destro goes there, and of course, well, they fire missiles at the one guy supposed to kill him. And apparently the Joes are kind of working with Destro to take down Cobra Commander. Yeah, because he's cowering. Of course, they know the fact that Zartan actually is Cobra Commander, kind of. So, oh yeah, it might be just basically Zartan poses Cobra Commander. Yes. So, yeah, and then of course they go in. They find Cobra Commander. Of course, you have Destro fighting him, of course. And then basically he's defeated. Yep. As for he's put on trial for his crimes, who knows? Because I'm sure Cobra Commander probably has basically a book full of crimes to be charged with. Well, because he's a leader of a terrorist organization, of course he would. Lots of shooting here. Yeah, basically Larry Hama lets it loose basically here with all the gun violence here. But here's the thing. One thing, we do see some blood, but I appreciate Larry Hama's art is basically, yeah, we have the gunfire here, which is kind of similar to the way it was with the show itself. But they don't go over the top with it. We don't see a lot of deaths per se. The only death you can definitely say happens is basically Serpentor. Yeah, he's dead. Given what happened to that explosion, he looks like he freaking died. And looks like Sebastian Blood. Yep. And Baroness is alive, but barely. Yeah, Cobra Commander has officially been taken down. Apparently. Then we have Dr. Mindbender, who's basically infected. Then we have SWAT police officers arrest all of them there. He tells basically the guy, like, stop at the next line, give me your phone. Okay, don't shoot. Get out. Yeah, basically he's in New Orleans, of all places. Yes, he's in New Orleans. And you're probably thinking this place they're at, is it the frickin' pit? Kind of. They sort of do a prayer, and then basically Destro talks to Sebastian Blood. Talk about the relationship between Cobra and Mars, and that's it. Lots of fun here. This book was really good. You probably think of this book here as the conflict between the Joes and Cobra Command over. Well, it seems as though basically that, well, how should I put this? It seems as though that Destro is basically changed sides, probably because of Baroness. Yep, I give the book a 10 out of 10. The book was really good. For one thing, basically that at least looked like he's trying to shut down Cobra Command, maybe. After like 40 years of basically running this comic book, I'm sure he probably wants to basically find a way to politely retire the characters. I mean, the book is only published on IDW Skype now for a year. That's not it. Alright, so next up we have is Invincible, Volume 19, War at Home. Written by Robert Kirkman, artwork by Ryan Otley. And this book contains issues 103 to 108. Rob Kirkman's the writer, Ryan Otley is the artist. Most of the put here is what happens. We have stuff with this one guy who acts like he's basically this universe first Mr. T. Mr. Terrific. We have something with Robot, with Monster Girl, who finds out she has a child when she poses a boy to get another girl pregnant. It's really weird. So apparently that Eve and Mark are engaged, and the fact that, well, yeah, so everything from the baby and drag basically, and of course we have where more stuff basically everyone's happening about Mark getting engaged. We have the other Invincible fighting one guy, and then we have this villain here who threatens Invincible, and then he gets sent to another dimension where he confronts another Invincible who apparently is eating his other selves. Yes, seriously. So then we have this uninvincible guy who does stay alive in the basement, kills basically Armstrong. That's the guy's name, Armstrong. So he gets defeated, Mark goes home, and then of course basically there's stuff here with more superhero stuff. Then we have where basically what they did for the Grayson house is that Mark's old bedroom is converted to his baby's room, and in the case of the parents' bedroom is now basically his room and Eve's room now. So You have stuff here with Robot, basically on a date. You have stuff here with Mark's mom and Nolan. More conflicts here and stuff here with... And then basically, Mark just uses telepathy to tell his dad that basically Eve was pregnant. And the thing is, basically, he's very happy. He does basically talk about the whole vulture by human thing. And this is a very good conversation between two of them. Basically, because, well, ask for advice about this. Yep. And then we have stuff with the alien, stuff with Alan. And then, of course, you have Eve and Mark visit. Like, and apparently the last person to know this is Mark's mom. The fact Eve is pregnant. Yeah, and the fact that, well, then we have Monster Girl here where she just talks to her son. Yes. Where, yeah, and this other, Nolan tries to basically, like, yeah, I'm not that person anymore. And Eve's like, I'm not mad at you, I'm mad at him. And then, of course, they have arm wrestling match in their costume, which is funny. And then Alyssa just pops by, just sees this. And it is asked about this a little bit later on. I'll get to that. So, then we have the whole conflict between Monster Girl, where this thing is her son, and he calls her father because she could change her gender to a monster guy. So, that's kind of the weird explanation for this. Big conflict here. And then here's Alyssa, who took out basically the monster here. And then she proceeds, like, were you spy on him? For his father, like, nope. I was spy on you. And then she proceeds to make out with him. He's like, hey, not cool, really. Funny. I just seen you ever since. But you seen you. That scene would set up a future issue that caused basically Robert Kirkman to face a lot of backlash against the series. I'll get to that next time I talk about this book. Yep. He doesn't talk about basically basically talks about Armstrong, and then he goes to visit basically Armstrong later on. Of course, his future wife slaps him. Then basically like, oh yeah, let's see this guy, and then oh, let's kill Armstrong, and then, well, Robot kills him. Excuse me, and that's it. Very interesting book, what it is. I give the book roughly a I give it roughly a 9 out of 10. But oh boy, we're getting some future stuff here with this book here. Yep. So yeah, by the way, next Comic Corner will be another book featuring by Robert Kirkman. And a book by Eric Larson. Well, the book by Eric Larson will be the last one to discuss that one for a while anyways, until they release another trade for it. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the video. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Next up is going to be more Invincible Power. Okay, next video. Bye.